What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling amazing today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support really is fantastic, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you with Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be awesome, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, I'm surrounded. The perks of knowing someone with a geology background. But the energy is fantastic, Cancer. Now, the moon will be going void of course over the weekend. She'll be going void of course about 2:30 today, in 2:30 this in the morning today, and then she'll be entering. It's going to be a very long void of course here, Cancer. 2:30 in the morning on the 20th, and then she'll be entering Aquarius on the 21st at around 12:28 in the afternoon. And this is all going to be Central Time, so. Yeah, we're looking at, I think it's like 30, a little over 30 hours here. So the moon is just, if you need anything from her, call somebody else, because she is checked out. And she's also, it's the last day of this waning crescent phase. We're getting ready to get into this thing over the weekend, Cancer, that new super moon in Aquarius. So yeah, definitely, Cancer, get excited, because with the moon entering Aquarius, you may be feeling a bit emotionally detached. You may be looking for some more kind of like intellectual stimulation rather than emotional, but also there's might be an urge to socialize and just like energy to be innovative. In Cancer, when I've been talking about collaboration and all of that, Aquarius energy is about networking and really not even thinking outside the box. Aquarius just knocks the box over and builds their own thing. That's Aquarius energy here. So I feel like really, Cancer, work with this stuff. This is a good time to really just whatever, the more obscure the better. If you got something really kind of crazy in the mix that you're like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, Cancer, why not? Why can't it work? It only doesn't work if we don't try it, and then we learn to tweak things as we go. And then think too, when we talk Monday, I know I'm already forecasting. When we talk Monday, you can get some plans over the weekend, and then the moon will be in Pisces. We'll be able to get a little more imaginative, and then when it enters Aries, we can just go, Cancer. So it's a good time to get geeked up. But lastly, in case y'all were curious, the deck that I'm using is the Everyday Witch Tarot deck, and I included a link for this deck and other decks that I like using down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, which is going to be just like the general energy of the day. So Higher Self, what's that general energy looking like for Cancer today? What are we bringing, Cancer? Are we feeling inspired? What is going on with Cancer today? Okay. We will be getting inspired after we let some stuff go, Cancer. We have the Five of Cups here. And I feel like with this, maybe some of us are thinking about some things. Maybe there's some changes that we're getting ready to implement that we know we want to change, but we're just really having a tough time kind of letting this stuff go here, Maybe we're worried. Let's say for example, if you're trying to, let's say I'm thinking of drinking just because she's got spilled wine over here. I'm thinking, let's say maybe some of you have, if you're like an artist, and you've been maybe drinking or using drinks as like motivations or something like that. And not that, you know what I mean, Cancer. But maybe you're thinking about maybe adjusting how you approach your creativity. Maybe we're trying to come from a different space, and we're worried that maybe if we change things up, that will not be as creative as we thought we were going to be. But Cancer, the thing with like creativity, inspiration, and all of that, you are the source. There are things that can like influence that type of things, but ultimately that's going to come deep down from within you. And I feel like it's about like letting go of, if we feel like that we maybe need some kind of external influence to like enhance our experience, or to foster that creativity. I understand where that misconception comes from, but Cancer, I really do feel like it's not that that kind of stuff can't help, but I just feel like I feel like it would benefit you to be more kind of reliant on really what's within, because you're fantastic, Cancer, and you really can do some really good work, and be very creative in what you do. And that's just an example if we're working in like a creative space. It could be letting go of anything, if we're just having troubles, if we thinking, because it could even be like a diet, maybe we know that we want to start working out, but we don't want to make the time for it, or there's always stuff getting in the way, and it's just like, what is it that might be keeping you from moving forward, taking that next step, and evaluate that thing, treat yourself, to be compassionate with yourself too, Cancer, because it's tough, when we have if we have any sort of like old habits or anything that we've really kind of clung on to and really kind of maybe defined ourselves around here. I get that, if you feel like you won't be the same, like, it'll be, you're not, you maybe won't feel like you're going to be as sharp, but Cancer, you deep down, you've always been you know what I mean? It's like, if anything, this gives you a chance, to just see, how do I want to put this? I feel like on a base, you're going to always, there's always going to be that Cancerian, on a level, but we have to change, Cancer, it's just part of life, you adapt and you mold and you grow and you're embodying a better version of yourself. Because imagine if you were still operating from the same headspace like when you were in high school. I don't know about you, but if that were my instance, yikes, that guy needed a little bit of help, a little assistance there. But, you know, when we think about just like, I'll kind of wrap this up. When we think about kind of like letting go of stuff like that here, I know it can feel kind of hard in the moment, but once you take that action, I really feel like it's going to just going to shine some inner strengths on or light on your strengths, Cancer. And I also think too, I know I said last thing, but one more thing. I also think too, because the Five of Cups is Mars in Scorpio, and this is about bringing that like Scorpio energy is about bringing that stuff to the light here, realizing what's not serving us a purpose, and then Mars, taking action and adjusting that thing, we're putting that stuff to bed and then growing here. So, this is a lot. I know that's a lot to think about, but again, we're getting ready to come up on a big energies getting ready to come our way here, Cancer. If we're gonna plant a new seed in this new cycle here, we want to come with like you want to go into this thing feeling kind of light, kind of not bringing any kind of like heavy baggage on there with you. You know what I mean, Cancer? So just something to just kind of ruminate on. This is a fantastic start here. So let's see how we can work with this energy, Cancer. Higher self. What are some ways that Cancer can work with this energy here? Let's see. Let's see what we can do with this energy, Cancer. Interesting. I see this is a very emotional time, and this is appropriate. We got to get all the emotions out before we get to Aquarius energy. But you got the Seven of Cups here. Is that more Scorpio energy? I want to say, yep, more Scorpio energy. But this is, Seven of Cups. It'll come to me in a minute. But the Seven of Cups, it's about making a decision, because here's the thing, if we're kind of stuck between whether we want to make a move, whether we won't, if we're at like a crossroads right now, or maybe we're overwhelmed with maybe options of what we want to pick or something like that. Cancer, follow your instincts, follow your heart. That's like, I know that I've been saying that for quite a while, but I wholeheartedly believe that. It's one of those things that you trust your instincts. You know what you want to do at the end of the day. And if we deny ourselves that, then it's just like it's just like running up an escalator. It's like running up the down escalator. It's counterintuitive. What are we doing? And I feel like it's something really where it's just like trust your gut, and then know that you're going to make the most out of whatever opportunity that you've picked. And that, because I think sometimes too, this is more so now getting just like thinking about the Seven of Cups, like, maybe sometimes when we think about like maybe what we want to start next, or how we want to move on, on, that we're just like, we're overwhelmed by the options, or maybe we think that we're going to miss out on different opportunities. Cancer, I feel like with that, I don't really feel like we miss out on opportunities. You know, the situations come into our lives when we're ready to tackle them. If it's not the time, then it's just not the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I feel like if you, let's say I'm looking at this card here, let's say you choose, let's say you want to do something with the flaming sword here, but you're worried that you're going to miss out on like monies, building a castle, maybe, I don't know, planting a garden. Cancer, that stuff will come, but you know, if this flaming sword is speaking to you, see what that's about. You know, who knows? Maybe you're going to be the next, you know, juggling swords. You stay with me, Cancer. But you know, just, I feel like when you make that decision, know that you'll know when it's not working for you or not. You know, if the resistance feels weird, you know, if it's not quite resonating with you, just trust that the signs will show that if this is not the right path for you, you know, your higher self will kind of guide you. And if it doesn't, you know, higher self, God, Buddha, Jesus, however you connect to the source, Cancer, that's going to be, trust that guiding force there. You know, and I know that sometimes it can be hard. It's almost like you're trying to like surrender to the universe, or it feels like you're doing nothing. But Cancer, you are doing something. You're building your dreams. It's just like, it's you know, higher self, it's just trying to line up here. You know, we're almost getting into that sweet spot. So let's get some other stuff here. Let's see how else we can work with this energy. So higher self, what are some other ways that we can that Cancer can work with this energies here? Let's see, what are some other things that you can be doing for your Cancer? Ooh, as you know, don't drop all your options all over the place for one. Okay, come on, here we go. Nice. Seven of Pentacles here. And so with the Seven of Pentacles, you know, I feel like with these, just on like a numerology kind of standpoint, because I've been kind of looking into more of that here as of late. When I think about the sevens, you know, the sevens are a time, like a number of like self-growth, you know, like a spiritual nurturing and all of that here. So I feel like it's, you know, it's a time to invest in, you know, what is going to help us grow, you know what I mean? And I know that's sort of like a duh, but sometimes sometimes I feel like where we know we want to do something, but then we might talk ourselves out of it because maybe we don't see a practical approach to it. You know, maybe it's just, you know, maybe people talk us out of it, you know, whatever it is. But I feel like Cancer, you know, again, if this is going to promote your growth, you know, just trust that. You know, it's going to be, it may feel a little uncomfortable at first, you know, it might be a little scary here, but it's just like, it's trust that you're going to be able to adapt to this thing. Because Cancer, think too, you know, Cancer's the cardinal water sign here, and I feel like it's, you know, we're one of the initiators. That's what a cardinal sign does. But Cancer, I feel like, you know, has that has the perk of having that flexibility. So, you know, it's like we'll start things, and then if things kind of get kind of weird along the way, we're able to adapt. You know, we move fluidly. You know, and we're able to just like navigate this thing. It's like, oh, this isn't working here. Okay, let's pull some stuff this way. It's like, oh, this isn't going here. Let's pull it this way. You know, like think about how like a, you know, when you have like a balanced mom, you know, working the stuff here. You know, moms can have like all kinds of things up in the air and they're juggling stuff there, but they're doing it like a champ. And that's where I feel like Cancer is just like invest in your thing and know that you're going to do it like a boss. You know, that there's you know, trust yourself. You know, that's where I really feel like, you know, that's going to be a really strong thing going, I feel like, into this next cycle here. You know, really believing in what you want and really going for that thing, and believing that this is going to, everything is going to work out in your favor as long as you're investing in what kind of fulfills you here. So it's just something to think about, Cancer. Let me get some tea here. Okay, now let's get into some challenges here. You know, we've been doing some pondering. Let's see what are some where some resistance might show up for us here. So higher self, what are some challenges that Cancer might face with working with this energy? Let's see what's going on there, Cancer. Oh, okay. Thanks, higher self. Nice. You got the Justice card here, Cancer, and it's, you know, I feel like, you know, where Because the Justice card is a card of one of the things I feel like has to do with is balance. It's a card of cause and effect. So it's like if we invest in this thing, what are some? I feel like maybe something, if we're worried about if we're making the right decision, maybe map out like a pros and cons thing. It's like what are some ways that I'm going to grow from this thing? What are some possible hindrances, and then maybe go to like maybe, something along those lines, Cancer. I feel like, maybe if we kind of like weigh the options here, feel like, what makes sense, because sometimes I feel like maybe where, um, maybe in making a decision too, maybe we feel like we have to rush things, because we're in such an age where it's just like go, 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 go. And it's like we feel like we have to solve stuff like right now, where Cancer, you're allowed to kind of ruminate on this thing. It's your journey. You have to go at your pace, but I feel like it's it's realizing that when you whatever you decide to do, there is going to be whatever that effect is. Know that it was meant for you to grow, Cancer. Nothing I feel like happens just by coincidence. It's meant. Everything happens for a reason. And it may even the when it's a high vibratory thing, and when it's a more kind of like more like a positive energy or more like a negative energy. It all happens for a reason. So I feel like just kind of keep a balanced head when we're thinking about this stuff here. Don't try to not allow that to like overwhelm you. It's okay to not have the answers right now, but it's just as long as we're kind of thinking about this thing, getting a game plan, that's getting you in the right direction there. Because Cancer, even if we're just like kind of journaling this stuff right now, or maybe just put a vision board or something like that, and we're just kind of like sort of like sitting there right now, believe it or not, you've sent out a beacon. That's the higher self is feeling that. It's just like, what's that you want, Cancer? Okay, because you've caused something. You've put something out there, and the fact is like higher self is just like, oh, okay, you want that in your realm? Let's throw that in there, and then let's see how that works for you. And higher self is not going to throw on more than you can handle, Cancer. Because it's like we all have our ups and downs here, but it's about having that when you hit those kind of downs, you'll have a little more cushion because you'll be able to expect this type of stuff more. I feel like we'll get to this place where we can kind of relax a little bit more. So I know that's a lot, and I hope that makes sense, but it's a tricky game. But I know, Cancer, I know you got it. And you got it. It's just, sometimes I feel like we just have to remind ourselves that sometimes too, So let's get to, let's see what are some other challenges that may come for you, Cancer. So higher self, what are some other challenges that Cancer might be facing at this time? You got yourself. Let's see what's going on here. Nice. Or at least it will be. You got the Nine of Pentacles here. And I feel like with this, we're in this place of maybe it's trying to get to this place where we really can kind of relax here. Because, I feel like this is where we want to be here. Where like how this lady's just kind of just sort of relaxing into this thing, Cancer. And keep in mind too, Cancer, this isn't a gender specific reading, this is definitely you kicked back, relaxing, and enjoying the fruits of your labor here. I feel like this is like, a challenge is like trusting that everything is going to be okay, that we're going to get that big win, that we're going to be in a place where we're not, where we're feeling fulfilled here. And Cancer, I feel like if that's, because who doesn't want Nine of Pentacles? We all want Nine of Pentacles. We all want to be in this place of where we can just like, where we're growing, and then when the fruits of our stuff there, we can just kind of kick back for a little bit until we're ready to start something else, to start something new again. So, I feel like it's really another challenge is just like believing that, that you're taking the steps to get to your stability here. And if there are things that, when we get back to that cause and effect, if there are things that are affecting the stability here, and you notice that it's just like things aren't quite lining up here, first, kind of reevaluate. Maybe there's a different way that we can go about whatever you're getting ready to tackle. And then if that's not working, then it may be time to maybe shelve that thing. And that doesn't mean that you're giving up on it. It just may not be the time right now. You know what I mean? There's something else that's looking to that's trying to get you balanced out here, so that you can, when you get to this place here, that you can get the most out of this stuff here, and that you can really sort of revel in this energy here. So yeah, Cancer, just when we're visualizing this stuff here, during this next cycle, and really just going forward on your journey here, really embody, what does that feel like? Let's say if someone, let's say one of your goals is that I'm trying to be debt free, by the end of this lunar cycle. Imagine yourself. Your bills are already paid. You are relaxing. You're celebrating. It's just like it's really be in that. What are you plan on doing when that happens? Just already envision yourself in that space, and then just watch. Instinctually, your body just starts to navigate this space. The ideas just start coming up, and then you just, before you know it, you're just like, whoa, when did I build all this stuff here? And it's it really is a fantastic thing, so yeah, I think I'll leave that one there. Let's get to your last card here, which is just going to be just some final thoughts on this thing. So higher self, what are some what are some last thoughts for Cancer here? Let's see. Let's bring this thing home, Cancer. Oh, hold on. Boy, ooh, hold on, Cancer. I'm just throwing stuff all over the place here. Okay. Closing thoughts: don't make a mess of things. Nice, actually. You got the Ace of Swords here, Cancer, and let's switch back over, because I'm just we're all over the place. But with the Ace of Swords popping up, Cancer, I really feel like this realization is coming. It's going to be, Ace of Swords has been kind of low key following us, not as aggressive as the Wheel of Fortune was, but I do feel like that there is that enlightenment coming. It's just it really does. I feel like it just comes down again to just like trusting that what you need to do in this thing. That believing that with time, and that with effort, and really and trusting your heart, and really doing what feels right for you, that everything is going to make sense. And then like these birds, these birds are gonna start flying around your head, and those birds are ideas. And then ideas, epiphanies, whatever you want to call them. But there's going to be a lot of clarity, I feel, coming with this energy here, because the Ace of Swords too, this is like a gift from higher self. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, Cancer, you beckoned, because here is enlightenment here. Here's the clarity that you were looking for. That's what Ace of Swords is trying to bring here. That's where your future self, your higher self, is just trying to get you to know that this is all going to make sense. All this experiences here, they're not random. It's definitely all a part of this, divine type of I had a good word for it, but we're gonna say thing. So you know what? Due to that, I think this is a good place to end this, Cancer, because I'm running out of words. So yeah, this very deep, Cancer. I feel like we've been really kind of getting into some deep stuff here. So I feel like that really shows that. I really feel like we're getting ready to cook up some good stuff here, Cancer. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Share this thing. If you feel like someone might resonate with this stuff, let's raise that vibration, Cancer. Subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. I'm getting speaking of epiphanies, I'm having like little soft ideas about how I can be more all up on Facebook. And then lastly, I'm assuming you're here because you checked your sun, but check your sun, moon, rising. Those are your big three. That's kind of really gives you a big picture. But when you get a chance, just check your chart. It can be really some fascinating stuff that you can find. And then go check out my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos, like they're oh, Cancer, I had it before. I do videos weekly and with different monthly themes, and it's for each sign, and all that housekeeping, Cancer, is in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Interesting. You got the Nine of Swords here, Cancer. So I feel like with this, if some of us have been feeling really frustrated, if we've been feeling like none of this makes sense, that we're maybe even it's getting to this place of where it's just like it's a lot of pressure, and maybe I don't feel like it's like we're panicking, but it's just like maybe we could be a little depressed about this thing. Maybe we feel like we don't have any kind of like we maybe just kind of feel just sort of lost in the dark right now. You just, everywhere you go, it just sort of feels sort of aimless right now. Well, Cancer, it's it's one of those things. Maybe some of us, if that's resonating with you, maybe take some time, maybe do some kind of meditation, maybe reach out and keep in mind, Cancer, this isn't medical advice, but maybe reach out, and I don't even mean so much as like a therapist, but if you have someone like trusted that you can talk with, this like maybe your hopes, your fears, your dreams, get that stuff out there, because that's sometimes keeping that stuff kind of bottled up can make us feel kind of frustrated. And if we don't, maybe it might help having like a sounding board to kind of feel like, hey, Cancer, have you thought about doing this way, or maybe doing it this way, and just like maybe those birds are going to start coming to you, Cancer. So just something to kind of just kind of think about going into this weekend. I know there's but know that with this coming moon coming in Aquarius, Cancer, that there's going to be some innovative stuff happening. Work with this energy here. There's I feel it coming. So believe it, Cancer. Ooh, that was very Naruto of me. You know what? Okay, I'm about to geek out on you. Stay safe out there, Cancer. Where's the moon at? Keep eyes on the moon. We're going to assume the moon's over there today. I really miss my board. And I will catch you on the next one Monday.